Welcome to drivenmavens.com. My name is Harvin, and we're going to continue on with our newsprint sketching, and this time I'm going to be using a different color. This is just Tuscan red. So let's get started. As you can see, I'm just laying down my proportions. I've got about 2.5 wheel spacing between the front and the rear wheel. I go ahead and put in my minor axis, and then I start to generally just draw the shape of my box, wherever that might be. Now you can see I've started to add a line. It looks like it's probably around a 45-degree angle that sets up my windshield. The windshield, and then from which you'd have your A-pillar, and then your greenhouse or your DLO. And by the way, DLO stands for daylight opening, in case you were curious about that. Alright, so now I'm just getting my centerline section in. I don't have a shape in particular in mind. I'm just going to just sketch, and whatever comes out of it is what we get. It's part of the exploration process as you start to just explore some forms. So I've got some triangular shapes here in the front. I don't know what that'll do. I don't know if it's going to look good or not, but as I start to flesh out the rest of the drawing, then I'll make some adjustments and maybe make some changes. So as I go through this, here you can see I've got some darker lines. I'm just applying a little bit more pressure to the arch stick. If you didn't see the previous Prismacolor pencil sketches, I would recommend that go back through the YouTube channel and check out the first sketch that I'd done using the using the arch stick. An arch stick is just, I'm kind of repeating myself here, but the arch stick is just another medium, kind of like a Prismacolor pencil, but it's just in a block form, like a charcoal piece of charcoal. Alright, so now I'm going to start shading in the core. So what's happening is the light source is coming directly to the side of the vehicle. So what's happening is, when you look at the side, first of all, that core is where you get in the rear your main reflection, and then the light is really hitting that peak, which is the peak of the surface on the side of the vehicle. So my light source, as you see here, when you look at it, you've got a little bit of a relief here on that side. So it's kind of coming just slightly above, more than it's coming from the side, but just a little bit above where you're seeing the whitest part. And because of that, that's why you see that transition at the bottom where you have that relief, and then you've got a slight concavity, and then it starts to transition outward, where you got that nice crease on the side. And then I'm just going to shade in through the front, and those triangular shapes in the front will also stay a little bit lighter. Alright, so now I'm just emphasizing the tires. I'm going to shade those in, block that in. Notice what I'm doing is I'm sort of rotating that arch stick so I can keep that edge sharp when I need to have it sharp. Okay, now I'm just going to add my reflection. This reflection is just coming from the environment. They can be another car. It could be, well, probably not another car unless it's like a truck or SUV or something. Of course, it just depends on how close the car is to this one. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So we're just adding that reflection through there. And then we're going to do it here on the other side. And typically the reflections you see, and this is always simplified, is just maybe some trees at the top that's reflecting off the glass. We're just going to add that. We're going to go pretty simple here because I want to just speed up this video, so I'm just adding some quick spokes. So what I've done is really to show the positive or the negative, the positive and the negative shapes here. I'm probably just going to leave the wheels as they are. I'm not going to bother shading those things in because we just want to show you some forms. That's it. And the main intent of this video is to kind of show you how you can use the broad side of these art sticks to shade in the form. And in some other future lessons, what we want to do is to start to look at more primitive shapes and how to shade those, because that's what sets all this stuff up. If you don't know how to shade the primitive shapes like your boxes and then slowly carving away at your boxes, then all this stuff gets a little bit more difficult to interpret. Okay, so I'm just going to shade the wheel at the rear, and I'll just darken that up a little bit, add a little bit more value there. And I'm going to do the same here for the headlamps. I'm just going to indicate some details. No need to draw every single reflector or anything like that here. All we're trying to do is just indicate it. Then I'm going to draw through. You just notice how I'm kind of very fluently going through the sketch. I'm not getting too tight. You want to stay a little bit loose. Name of the game of any kind of sketching is to stay loose and to never erase, which is hard. I never understood that at the beginning when I used to go to school or design school. Is I couldn't get my mind, I couldn't grasp the fact that I couldn't erase, and every time I made a mistake, but now I understand it, so that's why I'm telling you guys this too, because it really doesn't matter. If you screw up, then you just start over and just do another sketch, or you just leave the one you did, finish the one that you may have messed up, and then start another one. So we're wrapping up here. This is just about done. Just gonna darken up the shape around the windshield, and then that centerline section. Just going to indicate the reflection. Take that around the wheel well. Okay, I think this is okay. Alright, just want to make some more adjustments. I forgot the cut lines here, and I'm just going to slow it down to just normal speed. So this is just at 100%. So remember what I was telling you before about the apex of the curvature and how the reflection layer, the core reflection, tracks along the center of that apex. So there's my door cut line. So you can see how that reflection kind of goes right through that center of that apex of the curvature. And it's approximate. Sometimes it might be a little bit above, or maybe even below. Just depends on what's reflecting off of that surface. Alright, just want to indicate a little bit the hood and just the shape on the other side, and then I gotta just complete the surface transition here. I'm just lightly shading that portion, that surface transition on the other side, and then I'm just going to emphasize that grill a little bit more, add a little bit more line weight. There we go. Go back and just add a little bit more value here and there. Maybe just darken up the wheel. I think this is good. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and we'll see you here next time. DripMavens.com. Have a good one.